and welcome to this Aries inspired mid-month reading. This is a reading for the time quality of mid-June. This is a reading that is inspired by the symbolism of the tarot and the symbolism of Western astrology. I'm not an astrologer, I'm not a fortune teller, so this is not your forecast or your predictions. We're merely looking into maybe some layers of consciousness that can help us work on ourselves or self-reflect or find some inspiration. First part of the reading, I will do a general energy. Second part of the reading, I will go into a relationship dynamic. So let's see what we have for this time. Oh, the Knight of Swords. So this is a very smart energy, I want to say. It's a very also somehow somewhat intellectual energy. It's an energy where fire and air gets combined. And as you can see, it's a very fast energy as well. So this knight is really a fast knight. He is going straight to the point. He has a strategy. He has it all figured out on a strategic level, on an analytical level, and he wants to get straight to the goal. And he's very fast, therefore. He's a fast thinker. He is a logical thinker. He's an analytical thinker, and he's a fast decision maker. And he's a very clear decision maker. So this is a really good card if you want to make clear decisions from a logical standpoint, and if you want to really move forward to a goal pretty fast. We can also be good in communication with this card. We can be very good with language, and we can really be smart about things and clever. So this is a good card. We are not too much in our emotions. We don't have water in this card, so we only have air and fire. So this is maybe also keeping us a little bit from going too deep into our emotions. So this is a good card for making clear-cut, logical decisions and not wasting time also, which I like. And it's also speaking of air signs, roughly. So it is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, of course. So we are coming out of, let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, we have a lot of speed here. I see a need for speed. The Prince of Wands, he is also very fast moving, as you can see, and he is also at the same time. It's interesting. It's an interesting combination because we again have fire and air. So the princes, they really speak about the air energy, and the wands, obviously, as you can see in this card, are speaking of fire energy. So this is really very, very fast card as well, a very creative card and a very driven card. So this person really wants to move forward very fast also, and has also the eyes on the goal, but has a little bit more of a creative and lustful approach, I want to say. So this person wants to have a little more fun. If we can combine this at the same time, this is a really strong combination. So whatever you're doing right now, you're going straight to the point. And you can be really creative at this time. You can really make things happen with this combination. We can really think about how we make it happen, and then we can really go into a goal-oriented, creative, and action-motivated state with this Prince of Wands. I feel like we've already established that the way the cards wanted to come out. We've already established that creative forward movement, and now we are maybe getting a little more strategic about things. So we can think about getting a little bit more strategic. I am not taking questions for the people in the chat. This is not that type of tarot reading, and if you need questions answered, you need to go somewhere else, please. All right, next card is oh wow, the Nine of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. This is kind of a surprise, and it might be reminding us that we cannot be too strict to ourselves, because it feels like also a little bit of fleeing energy or a refugee energy, maybe from a moment where we are we feel like in our circumstances we might be a little stuck. Maybe we don't see the results. Maybe we feel like we don't have enough results. Maybe when it comes to projects or work, or when it comes to money even, or material success, maybe we feel like we're stuck in a position where we really don't see the results in the 3D, as people like to say. And therefore we kind of have somewhat of a impatient attitude, like it needs to happen now, and I need to have a strategy, and I need to make it happen now. And that's a very Aries type of thing. So we kind of need to be careful with the Aries energy there, and with all that fire and that air, that we don't get into a mind space where we kind of are too brutal towards ourselves, or too critical, or too extreme, or we get too anxious. Because of course the Five of Pentacles can bring anxiety if we don't see the results, if we don't see things happening the way we want them to happen, or if we don't see the results right away. We can kind of get into that anxious energy that it needs to happen fast, and it needs to happen now. And that's what I'm getting here from this combination of the Prince of Wands and the Knight of Swords. But with the Knight of Swords, as I said, we can be a little bit in danger to get too detached and try to figure everything out with the mind, and we don't have any water energy here. So we kind of don't want to just push away our feelings, push away our emotions, because if we do that, then it might be getting to a point where we really get too aggressive towards ourselves. And the Nine of Swords is really a card, I mean, it's Mars in Gemini, and that's not a good combination, because we're just constantly thinking, and it's a very aggressive thinking, and it's a very aggressive way of also communicating, and we might even say or think things completely out of hand. You know, we might make up some theories that are just completely detached from any reality at all. Yes, maybe the results are not the way they are, but that doesn't mean we need to go full on attack on ourselves. So I feel like this is what we really need to be careful about, especially with the Knight of Swords, who can obviously, as you can see, go full attack on two people. So, okay, wow. I kind of want to pull one more card for this, because it's a little intense. Two cards. All right, that's a good combination also. So yeah, there's all the water energy that we were missing, all the cups. So we have 11 cups even. The Eight of Cups and the Three of Cups. So we want to try to not get, or to maybe understand that we are really not stuck in a situation that is presenting itself outwards of ourselves. We are more stuck in a situation maybe inwardly, which would be the Eight of Cups. There's a lot of emotional investment that we maybe made in a situation, that we put into something, and we feel like it's just laying heavy on us, and we kind of want to get out of there. And also it just doesn't build the way maybe we wanted to build. And the challenge from the Eight of Cups to the Three of Cups is really taking a couple of steps back and look for the lightness again, look for the fun again, look for the things that make you feel good about a situation again. I get a lot of energy, especially for jobs or for projects, or even for a passion project, you know, where you're like, okay, I put so much energy and so much work and so much emotion in this, and now it's just like laying heavy on me, or kind of pushing me down. So we want to go back to a place, couple of steps back, you know, maybe a lot of steps back, to a place, to the Three of Cups, I'm sorry, that reminds us why we actually are doing the thing. What kind of feeling, what kind of emotions, what kind of positive feelings and vibes do we get from doing what we're doing. So this is really taking a couple of steps back and try to come back to that place where we can really appreciate what we have when we do what we do. And also how we can share it with other people, also how we can share it with our surroundings. The Three of Cups is very much about surroundings, about also social environments, how we gather with people and how we have a good time and how we feel that there is a very rich soil when we interact or when we do what we love or when we put emotional energy into something and get it back. That's the Three of Cups. So we want to make sure that we don't forget why we are doing what we're doing. All right, so the relationship dynamic, let's look at that. It could be any relationship. We're just talking about how we can maybe perceive a relationship a little bit different. It can be a romantic interest, of course, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a friend, a family member. So let's see what we are maybe missing or not seeing clearly. This other person or this energy that is working towards you or that you're drawing in. Eight of Swords. Okay. I'm gonna just get more context. The Strength card. That's interesting. It seems like you're very passionate at this time about a lot of things. I feel like also your own stuff going on. And it is maybe right now the time where we learn also with other people how to tame our beast, how to not go overboard, how to still keep passionate also when we work with people or when we're in a relationship or when we have a romantic interest. We're like, okay, yes, I'm really into this, I'm really attracted to this, I have a lot of passion for this, but still I can control my lower instincts. That's what this card is in a way also representing. I can control that part within myself, therefore I can also control that part on the other person's side in a sense, or I'm not triggering that part. And this is a very strong card. Maybe you are dealing with a Leo or you have Leo placements, and it's a card of Leo as well. So it's the Strength card. And it brings us a lot of courage as well in relationships, in connections. We are really not afraid of going on a journey with people or of showing ourselves and showing our full light, because it's a Leo card, as I said. And Leo is just the sign that is really supposed to shine and to show themselves. So maybe this other person is on a completely different energy level right now than you, or you're surrounded by people who might be even a little stuck or irritated by how you are so passionate about things, or how you are so present and there and still at the same time regulated, I want to say. Because with the Eight of Swords, somebody might not really see themselves out of a limited mindset or a limited belief or a limited way of seeing things. So somebody might take some time or might need some time, because with the Eight of Swords is often, unfortunately, a card where we really cannot force things. So we kind of have to let things settle down, and it's all in the mind. And sometimes, we are looking for a solution again and again and again and again, or for a way out of a situation in our mind, and all we can come up with is nothing. And we know the more we are stuck in that rut, the more anxious we get. And that would be the Nine of Swords. So from the Eight of Swords to the Nine of Swords. And we don't want to get there. So sometimes we just need to let things settle and need to let things also happen within our mind, not to force things. And with it's interesting, the Strength card in the Italian deck, it's called the Force, La Forza. And it is the force to really or the strength to really tame the beast within us. And it could be that somebody might misinterpret that also into their direction, but I feel like this is very much not connected here. It's like kind of disconnected what's happening. Yeah, oh wow, the World card and the Knight of Swords again. The World card in the reverse in a relationship setting is that there is something that still needs to come to a conclusion in a way, so we can step up into the next level of interacting. And it seems like there is both people in a dynamic that is struggling to be letting go of, or you're struggling to let a dynamic go to really step into this new version. Whatever that means, you know, sometimes it really means a breakup, sometimes it just means like stepping up together, sometimes it just means like, okay, we have to finish up something. If it's like a work thing, okay, we need to finish up. We are in the process of the tough moment where we're finishing up like the whole thing, and that can be very, very challenging. The World card in the reverse is often just like feeling like, okay, how can we make this, how can we get to this next level, how can we finish that thing up. And with the Strength card, actually I feel like you have a lot of potential to do that right now, even though other people or another person might not see things through, or might not see the way out of their own way of thinking. But there is nice Knight of Swords who is very much wanting to learn, and he's very much wanting to move forward with what he knows. So this is also about communication. I think in either way, if it's a work relationship or if it's a friendship, and you feel like, why can we just not get into that next better stage of this relationship, or why can we not together step through that portal into this new way of experiencing things? We need to talk more about it. I think we need to really learn as we go, also learn as we go while having a lot of communication. That would be the Knight of Swords, and he has a lot of knowledge already. He knows, he has his horse, he knows how to work with the knowledge that he has, but he is also at the same time he's not at the goal, at the finishing line. So he's obviously with his horse, he is just like going to the finishing line. So yeah, interesting relationship reading. I'm really fascinated by this. It looks a lot like a work thing for me, that is very passionate, and you have a lot of passion for something, but you might have to work with other people that are not really stepping up to the plate. Or if it's a relationship thing, then same story. You have a lot of passion for something or somebody, and somebody is just not seeing the way through to this new level of experiencing things, because things should be better, you know. All right, we do have an oracle card to top this off, and it's called practice. Practice makes the master, we say in German. It's a German card, because my first language is German, actually. Practice makes the master, which I like, because in English you say practice makes perfect, and I think that's complete BS. First of all, you can never be perfect, first thing. Second of all, if anybody of you, I'm a musician and an artist as well, so if any of you ever played an instrument or did anything musically, it is really not about practicing the same thing all the time over and over again, and that practice makes perfect. It is really more about doing the right thing at the right time. So perfect practice makes progress. I really like. I think this guy, what's his name? Questlove from The Roots once said that. And I really do like that approach, because we cannot be perfect, first and foremost. And sometimes you practice and practice and practice, and you just hit a wall and hit a wall and hit a wall. And you understand that you need to do the right thing as well. Sometimes you also need to let go and walk away, because it's just too much, and you need your brain, you need to give your brain a break. But yeah, all in all, of course, we need to have a practice. And we need to also practice maybe what we preach, and we need to practice also the person that we want to be. And also, if in relationship especially, we need to also, if we want to have relationships, we need to practice relationships. And that is, I think, in this whole new spiritual realm where everybody is like detach. Yes and no, you know, and I've practiced that myself for a really long time. But if you really want to have a relationship, you have to make it happen, you know, and you have to figure it out, and you have to figure out how you interact with each other. So I feel like that's also the practice, you know. It cannot be perfect. Sometimes it doesn't work, but if you don't try, then it's not going to work. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. All right. My dear friends, I am not taking any questions. I will probably not in the future do these lives mid-month, like with the chat, because people kind of don't get the message that this is not the type of tarot reader I am. But you can check out my description box and my channel, of course, and then you can see my approach, and also on my website, my approach to tarot reading. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm not telling people what they need to do. We're just really looking at situations, at stories, what the cards want to show us, at images, at pictures, and maybe we find a little more knowledge, maybe we find a little bit of a deeper insight into our consciousness, and maybe we can bring some stuff to light. But that's all you can ask for in the cards, and everybody who tells you otherwise is probably not a professional tarot card reader or a professional person. And I don't care if I bring myself into trouble when I say this, but I just also want to make people understand that this is not something that can make decisions for you. This is only something that can help us self-reflect in a creative and in a playful way. And yeah, that's what I'm here for. And if you like that approach, then you can come to my channel and check out my other readings. And if you don't, then that's cool too. And I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.